All right, welcome everyone to another Super Saturday, or the second Saturday of every month. We all get together and we talk about social X and how to help you be successful in your business. And we have got a great lineup in store for you here today. So before we get into that, we're just going to go very quickly to the slides because I just want to go over some announcements. There's some pretty exciting things, and there we go. All right, continue to share. Yes, and that's off. All right, welcome everybody. So excited today. December, how did the year go by so quickly? We've got promotions, of course, and this is my favorites. I started with it here on the Super Saturday slides, but let's just talk about, we're going to talk about those in a moment. But I just want to give you a couple of quick announcements. We do have some back office updates for you. So in the back office under videos, and you'll see recent webinar replays. That's where you always go to see our recent webinar replays or social X videos or hot videos that are timeless. We have a getting started section now with 6 great getting started videos. How to sign up a customer, placing a one-time order, all about your smart ship, becoming an associate, how to set your personalized websites up, how to send a product link, and more. So it's exciting. It's there. Other videos are there, but just make sure that you look in your back office and check out the videos and look at the getting started videos. They're all new. We're excited about that. Also, we have a new global payment solution coming soon. This is going to be up maybe the next week or two, but certainly before the end of the month. And so you're going to get an email. When it does go live, you'll get an email. Don't worry if you don't miss it. Just keep checking your back office because as soon as the new payment solution is live, it'll be posted in your back office and there'll be instructions on how to set that up. And you will be loving it because there is more options than what we've had available to us so far globally, where everybody can get paid in their own currency and multiple ways to get paid. So we're excited about that. All right, but what I'm really excited about to start this thing off with is our rank advancements. So with that, I'd like to invite Pat on. Yes, because a lot of these rank advancements are on this team, these leaders that you're going to be hearing from here today. So let's get started.
Wow. We're going to start with manager 3. We have manager 1 when you bring in your first person, manager 2, you got 2. But manager 3 is when we really start going. This brings us down 7 levels in the pay compensation plan. All right. So look at the Canadians here. Shelley Walk, Shauna Dick, Daphne Roan, and Ruth Verby from Canada, and Emmanuel Bontrager from United States. Congratulations.
Yes, one more person, and you're a manager 4, and we've got lots of new manager 4s. These are all people that are promoted in November, but also in the first week of December. So again, here it's the other way around. We've got 4 from the U.S.: Dimitri Kuiper, Shelley Wauk, Patty Owen, Stephen Supini, and from Canada, Dana Anderson.
And manager 6. Well, guess what? Manager 6 now gets us down 13 levels in the compensation plan. 13. So we have all Americans this time. Jimmy Anderson, Samuel Shepard, Patricia Owen, and Amy Stroop. Congratulations.
Yes, now manager 7 I'm really excited about because at manager 7 I have met my requirement for my personally enrolled requirement to get to every rank in the comp plan. That's all we ever have to have is Social X, 7 people that we personally enrolled that are active with at least a $45 order, and we've met our personally enrolled requirements to get all the way to the top, 500K. So this is exciting. Also, you're getting 15 levels in the compensation plan, and if you're on 3 products or more for your smart ship, you get 50% every time any of your personally enrolled people place an order. Very exciting. So let's meet some of the new manager 7s.
Okay. Cheryl Hansen, Gracina from the UK, Kimberly Dorset from US, Clinton Sides from US, and Danny Ma from US. Congratulations.
And congratulations to Bill and Janine McClure from the US, Brittany Fowler, Valerie Wong, Berdina Pridey, Heather Lorenzen, and from Canada, Candace Smiley. Congratulations.
Go. Okay, now we're getting into the bigger levels, the 5K. Now, let's just talk about that. You know, you're now getting paid 17 levels, but here's the change. You have to have 60% from one person. Well, that's the maximum you can have from one person, and 40% from all the rest of your team. But guess what? 30% can be from your upline. So think about it. You really only need maybe 2, 3 people really working the business to get up to these higher levels. And that excites me. So congratulations, Lena Livingston. And from the West Coast is Tra Talk. And Tra is building his business out there with a great team. And, you know, this is what we're excited about. This is not, you can't do this by yourself. This is a team effort. And that's what's exciting.
It sure is. And the next drink, 10K, is really exciting because 10K gets you into the global bonus pool. And what that allows us to be one team, one dream. Not sure if you can see that, doesn't matter, but global bonus pool. So our leadership bonuses have changed, and we got that on the slide coming up. But I just want you to know that it's always been the leadership where you get extra money as a leader starting at 10K. And now that means sharing in the worldwide global bonus pool. So I'm so excited. Dory Peterson, congratulations from the US, hit 10K and just got her very first check with a share of the worldwide global bonus pool. Congratulations, Dory.
Well, this excites me. This is one of my personals, Fred Holmes, and he made 25K. Now, 25K gives you all 20 levels, all right? And it gives you now 2 shares in the global pool. That's very big deal there. So congratulations, Fred, to you and your team. And we have Dee Dee Shaw. Now, Dee Dee Shaw, she made it in, I think you did 25K in her first 3 weeks. Okay. And you're going to hear from her later on. But this is, the thing Stu told me, she said all ranks, everything. Like she just did it faster than anybody. And we are just so excited for you, Dee Dee, to see where you go with your team.
Awesome. And the next one I'm really excited about because Pat Anderson. I'm so excited. Pat joined the team about, well, not quite 5 months ago, four plus. She's in her fifth month now. And a lot of these leaders that just rank against her, all part of that team. And of course, she'll always say it's not her, it is the team. But that's the whole point.
Mhm.
It's the team. It's never, you cannot make it to the top or anywhere in this comp plan. You can't even get to 5K by yourself. It takes a team. So
Mhm.
what an amazing team, and I'm so grateful. So 50K, and again, these titles means 50K, 50,000 in sales volume. And so you can get to the top every one of these ranks with just 2 legs. So no more than 60% from one. The rest comes from all the rest combined, doesn't matter. But now she's got 3 shares in the worldwide global bonus pool. So congratulations, Pat. And with that, over to you to talk about some of our promotions.
Oh, I love this World Loyalty Bonus Pool. You know, I've been with other companies, and to get these bonuses, you have to be such a high rank, and it's unachievable for so many. But we get to start at 10K. And as we talked about, that's a team effort getting to that 10K. You know, 30% come from the upline, and the rest of the 70% is your team. This is achievable for all. You know, it's just always that consistency of effort. But, you know, 10% of the commissionable volume, you know, that's from either customers or business builders goes into it. And between 5 and 25% of our new program that's starting in January, the promoters, influencers program, you know, that's going to go into the pool. So this is amazing. And you can see it goes all the way up to 500K, 7 shares when you get up to the top. Unbelievable. I'm just so proud to be in this company that looks at everybody and wants everybody to win. So, Collie, back to you.
All right. So
Oh no,
just
it's
under
back to me.
specials. I was going to say, I thought you wanted to do that.
Well, promotions. I love promotions and I love the Miss for Life. You know, everybody that knows me, I'm going to take all three of these products. And this promotion ends December 31st. I'm going to tell you this because this is what Stu said. It will never come back. This is not one that's going to, oh, we'll do it in January, February. No. December 31st is done. All right. So you want to be able to tell everybody about that, your team members, of course, and also your prospects. But starting right now till the end of December, also, we wanted a Christmas present for those brand new people. This is only for brand new people, first order. So they have a code, gift 30. Now, think about this. They can come in because they're just not sure about anything. They just want to try. They don't want to get on Smart Ship. They're going to get 30% off whatever they buy. But let's say a person comes in, you know, I'm a Moringa person and I bring somebody in and I get them on Smart Ship with one Moringa mist. Well, normally they would only get 10% off. But because they have this code, they get 30% off. Next month they'll get 10% off. But wow, what a way to go. And so thank you, Stu, for putting low just to put this together. And I know we're going to be able to help so many people try our products and get to love them just like we do. So back to you there, Paul.
All right. Well, back to me for a moment. It's oops. But I want to introduce Fred Holmes. Fred Holmes is going to be talking to us about how to build this business by leading with the product because he is the sponsor of a brand new 25K who you're also going to meet here in just a second, Dee Dee, who has built this business with the product. So I'm excited because people always ask, what do I lead with, the product or the business? And hopefully today's training is going to help answer that question for you. So over to you, Fred.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you're doing for us, Collie, and I'm really excited to introduce Dee Dee Shaw. Dee Dee is somebody I've known for quite some time, and maybe we there we go. Hey, Dee Dee. Good morning.
Good morning.
I've known Dee Dee for many, many years. She was one of our most successful diamonds with a previous company. She has built incredible organizations, certainly a very strong supporter of the team effort and helping everybody win. And one of the things that and you heard a little bit about this earlier in our broadcast, Dee Dee has set some company records literally not starting until the 4th of last month, managed to not only hit the 25K level, she actually blew right past that. All right. I mean, she her team members have done phenomenal jobs, and it's been almost entirely through acquisition of new customers. That is absolutely stunning. And Dee Dee, if you could take a couple of minutes and kind of share with the folks, because number one thing a brand new person asks is, what do I say? What do I say to get somebody interested in the products or the business? And I can't think of anybody better suited to tell us what the new person should be saying to acquire. I lost count of how many customers you brought in last month. I mean, it was blew me away. So anyway, Dee Dee, share with us a little bit of insight and help our new people figure out what should they be saying.
Well, Fred, I think it's about solving people's problems, right? That's what we do is solve people's problems. So, number one, you have to be a good listener. If you don't hear what somebody's problem is, you don't know how to answer that and solve it. And so I think that is super important. And for me, because I've been in the industry for a while, I like to use attraction marketing. I like to I do almost exclusively on social media. Um, Everybody knows I'm a health nut that knows me personally, but they have no idea who I am in the network marketing world. It's, so I do a lot of my marketing on social media. And we need to talk about benefits. Don't talk about ingredients. Talk about benefits. We live in a world that's anxious. What if I could provide for you a shake? It's why we sold out of shakes, y'all. A shake that is going to give you the collagen that you want to look younger, but it's also going to give you ashwagandha, which helps you to stay calm and to lower your cholesterol. So it's going to help with weight loss. So I talk a lot about benefits. a lot about benefits. I think that is the people. Everybody has needs. We live in a world that you know we all have health challenges of one sort or another. We need more energy, or we have kids that are anxious, and we can send them off with a shake for breakfast that tastes really yummy, and we can address that, through health. So it's just as simple as finding out what people's problems are and offering them a solution.
Well, I hope I should have said this, folks. I hope you got your notes out. I realized, wait a minute, where's my notes? And I started taking notes on this. This is really good stuff. Now, you've done most of your work on social media, but I also know you brought in a number of customers. Sheila said she's taking notes too. Sheila's our next superstar in the making. Um, Sorry, I got stuff flashing up on my screen, and everybody knows that's not a good thing with me. Now, I know most of the volume that you created this past month was through your social media posting and that sort of thing. But a number of some of your top people from last month came in because you personally approached them. Can you talk a little bit about how you might, on a one on one situation, be talking with somebody and lead with the product?
In a one-on-one situation, again, I mean, it's no different. You taught me this. It's a principle, right? It's a concept. So whether I'm talking to a screen and typing it out, or whether I'm talking to you face to face, how you doing, Fred? How's your health? If you're listening, you're gonna hear something that somebody says that you have a solution for. Man, I'm so tired. I'm so busy. I can't keep up. These are things you're going to hear from people. And I love it that we can offer a 60-day money back guarantee. And I've said this to more than one person. You have to have a relationship with people to be able to say this, but I'll say, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't like it and send it back. But it will hurt my feelings if you don't try it, because I know it can help you. And I have said that to more than one person that I care about, because I know we have products that can change their life. And if we can get them to take that step, that's really why I'm so excited about this 30% off, because people can start with one product and we get them hooked on 30% off. And then we can say, you can have 30% for life. Let's just get you a couple more products in there. It's like buy two, get one free. Pick your third one that you want free, and let's get your smart chip set up. So, it's just about finding what somebody's problem is and offering them a solution, and then offering it to them risk-free.
That to me is one of the strongest selling points for using our products is you have no risk whatsoever, and our money back guarantee, including shipping, handling, freight, the cost of the product, tax, everything. And I love that line. What you said about it won't hurt my feelings if you want to send it back, and I've said that with several of my new prospective customers. But then to turn around and say, but it will hurt my feelings if you don't at least try because I care about you. I think that's powerful. Now we had a question pop up about, do you use scripts or do you have a script? And I think we both share the same mindset on pre-done scripts and that sort of thing. Talk to me a little bit about that. Why you don't use scripts.
I think I read to you what somebody wrote about being genuine and being happy to be able to partner with me because they know me as someone who's genuine. And it is really, really hard to be genuine when you use a script. And I've had people ask me over and over again, they'll explain a situation and tell me what they want to tell somebody and say, how would you say it? Just like you just said it. That's coming from your heart, right? If they don't hear it, it's because they don't have ears to hear. And I think that is, to me, it's been the most powerful thing and most freeing for when I talk to people. And this has been around the industry forever, so I don't know who told me first, but you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If you're saying it from your heart, That's how they'll hear it, and they'll know that you're being genuine. Can scripts help you think through what you want to say? Absolutely. But how many of us have wanted to hang up the phone when we've listened to somebody read a script? Scripts just don't, to me, feel genuine. So you can use them for aids. You can ask me, how would you say it? But if you don't say it like it comes from your heart, then people aren't going to hear it that way. They're going to hear it as something that's scripted.
Absolutely. And to me, that's probably one of the strongest indicators of somebody that'll be successful in our industry. Just what you're saying, honesty, integrity, and then authenticity. Because it being you lets everybody else that you come in contact with come to that realization, that belief system that, well, maybe I can do this too, because I don't have to be like this person or like that person or like somebody else. And we all know, Dee Dee, you've been in the industry for many, many years. And when you first started, I know you had those challenges. Can I do this? And once people start, say it again.
I still do. We all do. We will all always struggle with a little bit of self confidence. If we don't, then nobody's going to like us because we're arrogant, right? So we should all stay humble, but just be genuine.
Well, and that's what makes people attractive. When you can look at somebody and realize they're just being them. They're the real person. Worked a lot for me. People just go, well, that's just Fred being Fred. So, but that's another topic. We're right at the time limit that we have for this section of our broadcast today. Any last comments or thoughts you'd like to give, especially to our brand new people just starting out and wondering, can they do the things that they see happening within the company right now?
I think anybody that cares about people has the opportunity to help people. And I think the big thing that I would like to convey to people is there's nobody that starts out this business and turns around rank advancements like you have, I have, like Pat has, in their first 60 days in the industry. It's consistency, it's developing relationships. And yes, we all have that opportunity to be successful, but you have to be, I like the word tenacious more than stubborn. So you have to be tenacious enough to not quit. I think that's most important. Just stick with it.
Dee Dee, you are the person that exemplifies that whole concept. If you keep on trying long enough, you're going to get good. You're going to get good. Dee, first of all, we all appreciate everything that you've been doing in your, coming up on almost 5 weeks in the business. And certainly appreciate the character that you're leading your organization with. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be able to be working with you again. It's just been exciting, very exciting. Thank you so much, Dee Dee.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege now of being able to bring back to our broadcast Collie Butler. And I just want to share a little bit about Collie's story with you, because a lot of you may not know Collie's story. She's been in the industry for a very long time, one of the most recognized top earners and leaders in network marketing. She started her network marketing career as a single mom, with an infant child, and has built a success story that, in the industry, and in terms of the top leadership in the industry, people know who Collie Butler is. However, a lot of our organization don't really know because they haven't heard the Collie Butler story. And I can tell you that not only is she a tremendous leader, she's building strong organizations. She is also one of the hardest working leaders that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. She's, literally single handedly responsible for our team website, lifeasitcouldbe.com. She's long after all of us have gone to bed, she's still working doing the kinds of things that are necessary to help provide the support tools and the resources to our organization. And so, Kali, I'd like you to join us because we're talking today about what does the new person say? How, that's the number one thing people want to know. What do I say? And we've talked with Dee Dee about leading with the product and got, I mean, I'm scribbling furiously going, wait a minute, can I just like be a participant instead of a host, and so I can take notes? And I'm gonna have to go back and redo my notes. Now, the other part of what we share with people is our opportunity. And you have been incredibly successful at attracting really top notch people into your organization. And maybe you can share a little bit with us about your approach and focus on the new person. What does the new person say to somebody as they want to approach them and share our opportunity?
Fred, I'd love for you to stick with me for a moment if you would.
Sure,
Because
sure.
I'd like to kind of go back and forth with you a little bit about this, leading with the money. So when I started, in network marketing 36 years ago, I didn't lead with the business because I didn't even understand the business. I certainly wasn't making any money yet, right? It was a product that changed my life that I had to share with my friends. And as I shared, of course, back then in network marketing, to even be able to share a product, you had to be a distributor. I didn't even know what that meant, right? I just signed up so I could buy wholesale directly from the company. And then my friends wanted to buy the product. I called my sponsor and they said, well, my friend wants it. Well, here, you just sign them up. How do I do that? They told me how. And I did, and I started sharing, and we their links or whatever. The next thing I know, I got a check in the mail, and then I was like, "What did I get this for?" They go, "Well, because you shared with this person, that person, that person." I'm like, oh. And I said, "Well, how does that work exactly?" And they said, "Well, come with me to this opportunity meeting, and they'll explain it." I already got my first check before I understood the business, and that's fine. You know what? It could take you years to really understand the comp plan, but what you have to understand is if you share the product, you're going to make money. And so the more I shared, the bigger the checks got. And pretty soon I got excited about the money because I was a single mom. I was making extra money, which eventually turned into equal to my pay, which gave me a two-income household, right? With just me. And then it got big enough where I was able to leave my job and go full time. And then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. So after that, what do I lead with? Well, you're going to find out from our masters, but I'm just going to say about leading with the business. I just tell people, I got this amazing product. You tell a little product story, but I just say, and if you just use these products and share with other people, you get paid word of mouth advertising bonus referrals. And the more you share, the more money you make. How does that work? We have a video for that. You all saw the video when you first were in the waiting room, right? So that's it. We're just letting people know we have a way to make some extra money that could be part time, it could be full time, it could be big time, it could be just huge. And it's whatever you want to do. So when you share that with people, if people want to know, they're looking how to make some money, they're going to ask you, you share the video, and then you share the rest of the story. So, Fred, I would really love for you to share how you went from you're brand new in network marketing, right? What did you lead with at first, and then how did you get to the money? And what is it that you say when you're leading with the business?
Well, that goes way back. I have a hard time remembering, what time I ate dinner last night. Forget about what did I eat. And, but that's a long time ago. Actually, one of the things that I've learned over the years is there seems to be a stage or stages of development of distributors. And the first stage is the customer stage. And even if you join the business for the business, you got to go through the customer stage, right? You got to personally be affected by the products because people communicate with feelings, not with words. And if you've got a script on, how great these products are, nobody's going to buy the story, but they will buy your story when you tell them how you feel. And when you go from the customer stage, the next stage is the retail stage. And that's what I think most of us did, just like you were saying. In the beginning, I couldn't attract people to the business. Maybe it was because I wasn't sure the business would work. I was just, I had to do the business, right? I was just trying to take care of my boy, right? And so my business was a customer business, and I made my money from customers. And then as I was able to continue to increase my income, and back in the early days, it wasn't like it was a lot of money, But, an extra $100 was a huge thing, which it is today still. Of course, $100 was a lot more money back then, but it's still, who doesn't want an extra $100? And if you don't want an extra $100, give it to me because I can use it, right? And so that's when things started to change around, when I could actually start sharing my own story. And it amazed me that I didn't have to share a story of making $1 million or being a six-figure income earner. But last week, I made an extra, $116. And that got people's attention. And it's just grown since then. And honestly, this is something I think the new people need to know. And you've certainly, experienced this, I know from our conversations. It's probably not very effective to say, yeah, well, look at all the money I'm making now. I could show you how, because that's unbelievable, right? How can you believe the kind of money people like yourself and Pat and Reed and even myself have made? Who can believe that? I mean, most of all, us, right? I mean, yeah, I have to pinch myself sometimes. So, it seems to be just a natural transition, and it's just like, growing up. Don't worry about how fast you can, get to being a tween, 9-year-olds going to 10. Okay, you'll get there, right? I remember hitting double digits. Don't worry about, how soon before you're a real teenager or you can drive a car or, be out on your own without, a parent after curfew. It's all going to come. The key is you just got to stay with it. You got to just stay with it and it'll get there.
Absolutely. So, I remember my first goal, right, was just to make enough money so I could support my kids on my own without needing an extra person in the household making money, right? And then when I started to meet people that were, I would have not listened to somebody that made the kind of money that any of us have made, because you're right, that's kind of it's scary for people who've never. I was lower middle class America. I mean, I did not get it, and I probably thought you couldn't make that kind of money unless you're a doctor, or lawyer, or doing something illegal. I don't know. But once I understood, I set that goal for 5 figures a month. That sounded like more money than you could ever spend. Like that sounded like wealth beyond, imagination to me. And when I got there, I found out, all it really is I don't have to clip coupons anymore. I don't have to look at the price at the gas pump or the sales shopping or whatever. I could just buy what I wanted. I could just, and so it changed my life, but not like, making a little bit more that gave me the ability to travel the world and take my children with them. So this is a progress. I love what Dee Dee said about being genuine 100%. I scripts, no, never have used them. And I remember one time thinking, I'm not that great of a speaker, but I practice and I try, right? And one time the first time I ever spoke in front of a group of people, I was feeling kind of good about it. And I was like, oh, because I could see the participation and the response that people were that really responded. And I thought, oh, I must be getting to be a pretty good speaker. And they said, no, but we can tell you're genuine. We can tell that what you're saying is coming from your heart. And that's all it was. You have to just people have to know you care about them and what you're saying is real. We don't lie, we don't inflate stuff, we don't use scripts, we don't do that. We just share with people we care. And I also love what Dee Dee said was about if you care about people, then you can help people. If you don't care about people, this is probably not the business for you. So, with that, Fred, I just wanted you to leave just kind of a final little word here on this topic about leading with the business.
I think the most important thing to understand is that, there are a wide range of people out there. There's some people who genuinely desire for more than what they have. And those are the people that we're looking for. There are other people that are happy and content with what they have. And honestly, if people are making the money that they need to make and they're happy doing what they're doing and they're happy with the amount of free time and flexibility they have in their schedule, good for them. They've got what everybody else wants. All right. And they're a customer potential customer, right? But think of this. Who do you know that needs or wants more money? that needs or wants more free time and flexibility in their schedule. And who do you know needs or wants more fun in their life? Because every single one of those people is a potential associate that you can help them build their business, not the other way around. The minute you get that mindset that you're approaching somebody to help them change their life, as opposed to, I hope this person comes in because I need another, doer, right? Soon as you got that mindset around, it's what I call multi-level proverbs, right? And this particular proverb is number 37. Care more about your new person's paycheck than you care about your own, and the money will track you down like a bloodhound. You cannot escape it. You cannot outrun it. Care about helping your people. And I'm going to tell you, it took a while for me to internalize this because I came into network marketing not for products, not for. I needed money and time to take care of my son. That's what I needed. And when I got that turned around, that it wasn't about what I needed, it was about looking for that person that I could help them achieve what they wanted. That's when everything started to click. So, my 2 cents.
Absolutely. Love it. Thank you so much, Fred. Appreciate it. Now I'm going to bring on Pat and Reed because really master marketers, master networkers, they don't lead with the product or the business. They lead kind of with both. And they're going to explain how asking the right questions can help you solve their pain point. And that's what it's about. What are they looking for? That's what you're leading with. Pat, over to you.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Okay, so when I got into this, I was about the product. And I did lead with the product, not, I still am a product person. I did not need the money. Fred was my sponsor, and I could have cared less about the money part. I needed a product to help with my health. My husband and I are both extremely successful. And so this was not something I ever thought. This is going to sound terrible, but I'm going to just be truthful here. I used to think people did network marketing because they couldn't get a real job. And, that was so wrong. And I have sure learned my lesson since and got rid of all those other jobs type of thing. But I want to talk about the most important is I don't lead with anything anymore. I've grown, I've learned, I've really embraced this profession. That's what I call network marketing. It's a profession. And you can be really good at it through reading books and learning about it, and I highly recommend that. But I don't lead with anything. So in the beginning stages, I did a lot of trade shows because I had my own company, and I was promoting my own product, and I just brought the network marketing product I had at the time into the trade shows. So we're at a trade show, and I'd see somebody coming down the aisle or whatever, and we start a conversation. I would say, "What are you sick and tired of?" And I still use this to this day. I lead this 90% of the time. What are you sick and tired of? And then I shut up. I don't say a word. I just smile and I look at them and they have to answer me somehow. And they're going to tell me something about their health. They're going to tell me something about, kids, I need more money for kids to go to university, whatever it is. They're going to tell me what I need to lead with. And that's what I'm going to do. I am listening to them because they're the most important person. All right? It's not about what I want for them because it could be totally opposite of what I want in my life. And that's what we really need to learn. It's not about us. It's always about the customer. Okay? So I have to share a funny story. Well, it's not funny, but it is. So I was at this trade show and, I asked that question. I smiled and she goes, "What I need is just extra money to get rid of my husband." And I kind of, okay. She goes, "I'm getting a divorce and I just don't know what I'm going to do." And I go, "Well, I could show you something that might help with that. Are you interested in learning how to make some extra money?" This person ended up being one of my really good business people. I was there when she needed it, and I was able to help her make just $500 a month that she could put towards an apartment where she could take her kids to safety. And that's what it was all about, was to get them away from the ex for safety. And you know what? That was so rewarding. And she ended up becoming a great business partner and built a good business. And so we don't know a person's situation, so we should not be prejudging. And I think that's the best thing. When Fred brought me into the other company, he didn't prejudge if I needed the product, I needed the business. He just gave me the information, and it was my choice of what I was going to look at. So Reed's going to come on right now, and we're going to talk about a few different things like that. But just keep it really simple. Listen to what the person has to say, and then give them the tools that are going to be useful for what they want. So Reed, I'm going to get you to, there you go. So this is my business partner, Reed. Reed and I have been together 10 years. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This gentleman has forgotten more than I'll ever know in network marketing. One of the things that I'm so proud of this is he is really about helping his people, and he's created 150 millionaires. That's a lot of work, okay? That means he's spent so much time helping train and developing them and their teams. And that's what I admire you the most about, because you are so team orientated, but you also lead a lot with the business too, even though you love our products and stuff, but you want to help people create a business. So Reed, I'm going to pass the call to you.
Well, thank you, Pat, and congratulations on all the rewards. Awesome. Way to go. What a good example. I love it. So, this is really all about creating value for people. What is it for them? We tell our stories, and that sort of thing. And so we have a lot of customers already in the business, and we're excited about that. But we have a few handful of business builders as well. And so it's about what people say, how do you approach people in the business? How do you approach people about the product? Well, I know somebody's going to be strictly a customer of mine. We just talk about them, what they need, we just go down the trail. But if I know I'm going to go talk to somebody, I want to talk about the business, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Now, I was down in California a couple weeks ago, and some people saw this a couple of times, but most of you have never seen this, and I've been using this. There's a date on this picture, July 31st, 2014. I've been using this for a while, this kind of an approach for business people. So, Pat, I'm going to use you as my guinea person here, and you're going to be my prospect for a minute. But we're sitting down, just talking a little bit, and when I'm ready to get down to business, I pull this picture out, and I show it to you. I say, Pat, have you ever seen this picture before?
Many times.
Many times. What is it?
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. Have you ever seen it in person?
No? Oh, yeah. That is not a true story. Yes, I did. That was a long time ago, though.
In the Louvre, right?
Yeah, in the Louvre.
And so, how big was it? What was your?
Very little.
It's
It
really
was so
little.
small. You couldn't believe how small it was.
I expect to see this massive thing. The frame was massive, the picture really little, not as big as this, but you see the piece of paper. So, how much is she worth? What was this painting worth?
I don't even remember anymore. It way past my budget.
Well, they say it's priceless, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. They say it's all because she has this fascinating face, right? This face is mild. I think she's a homely person, whatever. So, but she has this face that just draws people in, right? And so this painting's priceless, right? And so what happens? I take her face out of it.
You don't see the whole picture.
Now you have a head with hair on it, right? So it went from, right? Can't grab it. Priceless to worthless in an instant, right? And so when I'm sitting down with somebody, I'm going to say to them, I'm going to show them the pictures, ask them those questions just like that, I'm going to say, so if I show you just our business, Pat, if I show you just the business, that's a head with hair on it. If I show you just the products, that's kind of a head with hair on it too. It's my responsibility to show you the whole picture and then you make a decision where you fit. Does that make sense?
100%.
And so when I sit down with somebody, I do that. Everybody understands it. Everybody gets it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you everything. We're going to show you the products and how good they are. We're going to show you the business opportunity, what it's all about, and I'm going to share some stories with you about our experiences with it and all that. And then you decide where you fit. However, I do want you to know that I would love to have you as a business partner of mine, because this is an amazing situation. And I always leave it with there before I get started, because I want them to know what I'm after. They need to know that. You know, they don't necessarily have to choose that, because it's a choice they make. But our responsibility is to show them the whole picture, not just part of the picture. And that's the whole point I want to make with that. Is somebody says, well, how do you kind of lead with both? That's how I lead with both. I want them to know I'm going to show you the whole picture, and you decide where you fit. Okay? And also what I'm looking for. Okay? You may not choose what I'm looking for, but I want you to know what I'm looking for. Okay? Then we'll get started into the whole deal like that. But the two most important ingredients in all of that, we've heard it over and over and over again this morning already, is two things. The magic. What is the magic? Okay? The magic is sincerity and enthusiasm. You don't have to know about how many milligrams of moringa's in that. I don't care. You know, it's in here, and it's really, really good. And I'll tell you why it's good, my experience with it. But I don't need to know all those things. I need to be excited about what I have, right? And I need to be, sincere about it. Like Colin said, we have to be genuine. We have to be genuine with people, or WD. So it's like, we're not genuine, they're not going to do it anyway. If we're plastic and all that sort of thing. So, right? Enthusiasm and sincerity is the magic. Just have a conversation. Ask the question. I like your question. Wrote it down. Every time you say it, I write it down. I've got that note everywhere. What are you sick and tired of the most? What are you sick and tired of? And so it's like it's such a simple conversation. What do I say to somebody? How's your family? What are you doing for fun? What do you do for fun these days? Because whenever I end a presentation, you know me, I end up with three things, right? And that's even in a one-on-one situation. I got involved in network marketing 53 and a half years ago, almost 54 and a half, for three reasons. Number one was money. Let's be honest here. If we're going to be in a business, I want to make it a profitable business, right? So that's number one. I want to make it a profitable business. Number two, I want to have fun. Oh my gosh. When we were down in California, we had a ball. We had a blast. I got to meet Stu for the first time besides on Zoom, right? A big hug, we're both kind of huggers. That's what I thought, And he's so sincere about what he does. He's enthusiastic about what he does. And it comes through with gangbusters. It's awesome. It's just awesome. So I want to make money. I want to have fun. And the single most important thing, I want to truly help people. Physically and financially, both. Some people don't want financial help. Great, no problem. But they're going to see the Mona Lisa, and they're going to get both if they're sitting down with me. Okay? So that's how I do it. I just open up, like I said before, if somebody in my mind is just going to be a customer, that's all I want it for. We're just going to talk about them and their situation, how we can help them with whatever's going on with them. But if it's going to be a business conversation, they're getting the Mona Lisa. They're going to get the whole picture.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
That's it, kiddo.
Never prejudge. And go after your chicken list. For somebody like me, no, I didn't need the money. What I didn't have was time. My husband was working in other countries, with his oil company. I was doing this, doing that. We were never together. We laughed when I retired him after 5 years of being in network marketing, part-time. But that's another story. But we hadn't even been together that many years, even though we'd been married a long time, but we'd never been in the same household that many years. And what network marketing did for us is give us that time freedom. So you don't know somebody's situation. Okay? They might have 2 or 3 businesses here and there. They could own franchises. Well, that's, if you own a franchise, you're working 80 hours a week minimum. Okay? You don't know their situation. So ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Okay? All they can say is no. And you say, thank you very much. And next.
Pat, Bob Proctor once said something that stuck with me. I heard it one time from him, and it stuck with me all these years. He said, if you own a business and it requires your presence to make it work, you don't have a business, you have a job.
Good job.
So you own your own job. Congratulations. But if you want freedom, you have to do it a different way.
That's right. 100%. Awesome. So, Collie, I think we're going to bring everybody on again.
We most certainly are. All right. To kick this off, we are going to answer a question that was in the chat that I thought was kind of a good little thing. And then I wanted everybody to share what they're going to do over the holidays. But there was a question in the chat about how do you handle people who want to know how much money you're making. And I thought this would be a perfect thing to address in this conversation. So in this topic. So Fred, why don't you answer that one?
Yeah, I tried to help.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, TJ with that. This is kind of beyond the scope of today's call. But something that was so important was taught to me. It's like one of the very first things I was taught in network marketing, and it's how to share your story. What's important to understand is there is no amount of money that you are earning that is going to attract the person that asked. Okay, because you'll either be making too much or too little. What's important is to learn how to share your story. And it's the easiest for the new person, because if you're doing this business, you're going to get to manager 3 as fast as you can. That first 3 people plus your $50 bonus, with our average order card, you've made $150 or more. If you do that in your first week, guess what? $150 in your first week is a phenomenal story. And because that may not be enough money to attract the attention of the person you're talking to, you need to learn how to share others' stories. So, example, well, I just got started, but I already hit the manager 3 rank. I made over $150 my first week in the business. And what I'm excited about is I'm working with Pat Anderson. She's working directly with me and my team, and she's made millions in this business. So now I know the people that know how to teach me how to do that. Share your story and the stories of others. Now, many of us, our stories are ridiculous. And so we end up sharing the stories of our brand new people. Somebody that just hit, manager 7 and it only took them 2 weeks and they made over $450 because that's exciting. Think about that. How many people could use an extra $1,000 a month with a part-time business that they just started? That's incredible. And so it's about learning how to share your stories.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to kick off what do you do for the holidays? Can I just say that everybody says, oh, the holidays, get back to me after. It's too busy. I don't have time, whatever. I get that. However, it is the season of gift giving. And actually, I'm going to unblur my background just so I can show you just a couple of things. And so you can get little gift things from Amazon, little gift bags, whatever, little gift bags maybe with some shape and burn in it. And I think Dee, it was you that was saying to people, and just maybe a couple of samples to see how you feel on it. If you love it, then they don't have to get a whole. I love how you feel because we all feel something really good on it, right? So the shape and burn is great, and of course the Exhilarate is great. You could give Exhilarate with a business card or with a postcard, whatever. The idea is we're giving gifts. Now everybody has a different budget. So maybe my mailman and the UPS guy and the kid's bus driver, whatever, they might be $5 or $10 budget gifts, whatever it is. So maybe I'm just going to give them 3 sticks of Exhilarate. But I have a business card it's just a simple one, it's on my website. But on the back, it's blank, so I can write on it what I want to write on it. So I can be giving instructions on Exhilarate on it if that's where it's going in my Exhilarate. giving somebody I have a higher budget, I have somebody I'm going to give $150 to, I give all three this. I'm going to explain that and have the direct product link to be able to get those products. But I'm just giving gifts and giving them a little info. And then guess what? This special for $150 ends the end of the year. So am I waiting till January to follow up? No, I still don't have time for the business. But what I am going to do is say, Dee, there's a special right now through December 31st. If you get this and put it on Smart Ship, you can get it for $150 for the rest of your life. I just wanted you to know so you didn't miss out. Guess what? A lot of people are signing up before the end of December to get the mist and get it on your Smart Ship, even though they don't have time to talk about the business until January. So those are some ideas for me. I'd love to hear from Reed next on what he's doing over the holidays.
Well, number one, I tell people in the group, in the team, and even my family members, I work really, really hard on continuing prospecting, doing everything I normally do every single day. Because this is my quote job, this is what we do, right? People don't take a year off around Christmas. You know, if somebody has a JOB, do they take a month off in December? No. They usually take Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and then they're back to work on the 26th or the 27th. Most people don't take all that time off. I'm telling you right now, somewhere around the 22nd, people's brains turn off and it's over for a few days. So I'm going to work diligently right through the 22nd of the month. I'm going to come back on the 27th, so 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 5 days to close the business I planted the seeds out of the first part of the month. Okay, and so, and as far as Christmas goes, I'm just we're going to hang out with them, have a good time. We're going to give away a lot of these and stocking stuffers and things like that. And I think that's the best thing we could do is get people to get the good health, especially our teenagers. We got a lot of teenagers in our family, and they need this as good as anybody else. So they need good nutrition. They're not getting any. Okay, so they're going to get something from grandma.
Awesome. So what I do is I have my phone everywhere with me. I'm never without my phone. And I have notes in my phone, of course. So let's have at a Christmas party and I see all these different people. Well, I'm not going to prospect them at a Christmas party, but I'm sure going to put their name down and I'm sure going to follow up with them after Christmas. So by the time Christmas is over, I could have 20, 30 names from being at different places that I can follow up with. So that's what I tend to do. What about you, Dee Dee? You're already busy. I'm seeing your posts on Facebook going crazy.
So for me, I'm trying to reach those people that haven't jumped in yet. I'm so excited about that 30% off coupon because that gives people an impetus to do something now. Putting a lot of samples in people's hands. Try the shape and burn. Because I've been in the weight management industry for a while, there's a lot of people that I have contact with that have tried different things with me or whatever. But don't wait till the first of the year, right? The first of the year is going to open up the door. Everybody's number one New Year's resolution has to do with health or weight or money, right? They're either going to get a hold of their, better finances. They're going to do something to get better health, or they are ready to lose all the holiday weight. Well, you can get ahead of that because you can just maintain if you use the shape and burn, right? You're not going to overeat if you're using shape and burn. So you get you get people interested now, even if they don't buy now, even if you can't get them to make that jump with a 30% off coupon, they're going to be ready to go with you in January. What I'm trying to do is get people to try the shape and burn now, or try shake now, whatever now. Try one product now, get it for 30% off. Let's get you on Smart Ship in January so you can use that 30% off always. I'm giving them a taste of what 30% off feels like. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn around and get them on 3 products so that they have that 30% off ongoing. But I don't slow down for holidays. I hit 25K, I think, the week of Thanksgiving. You don't have to slow down for holidays. Well, I think we all think that we should. Everybody thinks, well, everybody's spending money for Christmas. Well, the collagen in those shakes We're all vain. We want to look better. You're busy. You don't have time. You can drink this shake, and it's like less than $3 a day, and you can improve. I think somebody, you mentioned people are noticing the difference from just using the collagen. I can tell a difference. I've only been using it a month, and I can tell a difference. So, and again, it's just listening to what people have to say and say, I have a solution for that.
Perfect. Awesome.
Awesome. Fred, what are you doing over the holiday? I know you only take off Christmas Day, I think, too. So tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm certainly not as creative as the rest of you. I fall back on the one thing that I've been able to kind of hang my hat on. I was never, the strongest guy. I was never the sharpest guy. I was never, I just learned that I can outdo anybody because when they start slacking off is when I go to work. I mean, the most. And so for me, it's just simply a matter of being consistent. As like Reed said, this is my job. This is the only thing I do. I love when people say, so what else do you do? Well, I take my money and I invest in real estate. Does that count? No. Growing up, as a young man, I worked in institutions for several years, and I didn't get Christmas off. I didn't get Christmas Eve off. The single guys, we swap shifts with the married guys so they could be home on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then they swap shifts with us so we single guys could go out New Year's Eve and recover on New Year's Day. And so, one time I didn't even have Thanksgiving off. I took my mom with me on a run in my truck, right? She talked about that till the day she died. That day she went on a run with me, and we had Thanksgiving dinner at the Wild Horse Cafe in King City. I think the one thing that I can share is that, when everybody else starts to slow down, that's when I double down on my consistency. And it only has to be one person a day you talk to, because if you talk to one person a day, that's going to be another 17 people you'll prospect between now and the end of the year. There's no magic to this. Okay, one day off is what you get for Christmas. I'm going to take Christmas off too. Okay, but I'm going to be working until people stop answering the phone on Christmas Eve, and then I'm going to pick it right up again the next day. That's the magic. I'm just willing to work harder when everybody else starts to slow down.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And also remember, December, I'm sure all of you got parties to go to, whether it's events at your kid's school, or it's a work party, or it's a family party, or whatever. Remember, make little gifts and take them with you and hand them out to everybody at the party. Maybe even host a party yourself. And what we usually do is host a party and make little gift bags up, and they're all sitting at the door. We always say, pick up your little goodie bag on your way out the door. And you know what? A single serving of this, and they feel something. The Shape and Burn, it's not it's not enough to lose weight, but you can know how you feel on it. And if you feel good, you're going to want to get more. So, and then we can follow up with that 30% off. I'm glad you reminded us of that, because another reason, it's not just this that ends December 31st. So we want to do that, but any product is 30% off till the end of December, and that goes away. So again, a reason to say, didn't want you to miss out. So Rita, I just wanted to let you know, if you love this Accelerate, I can give you a code for 30% off. Here's my website, here's the code. No matter what you get, 30% off. We should be able to do a heck of a lot of business by the end of this month if we are
We're going to
talking to people, giving out the code, and following up. So any final words from any leaders?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Thanks,
What
everybody.
we do right now is going to affect 2026. All right? If you want to be into momentum in 2026, now's the time to build that.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Let's do
Let's go.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.